Let me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm filming another collab with CLIQUE today, and this is my New Year's Eve inspired makeup look. I decided to do this really cool glossy copper kind of cool lived in eye look, and I love the way it turned out, so I hope you guys do as well. If you'd like to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. So I've already primed and done my brows, and now I'm going to move on to foundation. I'm using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in NYE, and I'm just going to start buffing it into my skin using a round all over brush. And I chose a full coverage foundation because obviously this look is for New Year's, and you want something that's going to last all night and cover any blemishes. So now I'm going to skip around a little bit, and I'm going to prime my eyes using my RMS eye polish in Solar. And I'm just going to take that on a flat eyeshadow brush and start placing it on my eyelid. The reason I'm doing this is to, one, give my eyelids a nice base so that the eyeshadow on top doesn't move so much, and two, because when I put the gloss on, it's going to eventually start to crease and go quite messy, and you want a colour underneath to kind of shine through, which is why I chose the gold, but you could use whatever colour you wanted. So I'm making quite an opaque layer of that. Just kind of blending it into the crease as I go. And this is really pretty on its own as well. Okay, and then taking a fluffy blending brush and some bronzer, I'm going to put a bit of that in the crease. Okay, just make sure to blend the edges. You don't want any visible lines. Okay, and now I'm going to tightline and waterline my eyes. I think I'm going to start with a brown, but I might go over with a black later on, depending on how subtle the brown is. So I'm just going to start with my waterline. And this is MAC Teddy, I use this one all the time. Okay, then I'm going to curl my lashes. And this is just the Mecca eyelash curler. And then I'm going to put a nice coat of mascara on. So I'm just putting on some individual false lashes, and I'm using some mediums and some shorts. I like the Ardell cluster false lashes the best. I find them really easy to apply, and they look super natural. Okay, so I'm moving on to concealer, and I'm just using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer. And then I always like to go in with a bigger brush and just blend it in. And I personally don't like the feeling of having lots and lots of concealer under my eyes. I find it super uncomfortable. So I like to work in really thin layers. If I need to go in with a second layer, at least it's not like all over my face. So I do want it a tiny bit brighter under my eyes, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit more on. Again, in really small, thin layers. Buff it in. And then normally what I like to do is take my foundation brush and just slightly go over the edges where the concealer is meeting the foundation. Just set everything, and I accidentally forgot my beauty blender, so I can't bake, which sucks, but I'm just going to buff in some loose powder. I might try and bake with a brush and see how that goes, but I don't think it will work. Because the best part about the beauty blender is that it's damp and the powder really sinks in nicely. It's not looking too badly. With the excess, I'm just going to buff it in. Okay, it's a lot messier than using a beauty blender, that's for sure. But let's leave that for a second and see if it works. And then while we're waiting for that, we can contour a tiny bit using the Anastasia contour kit. And I'm just going to use a small brush and just contour slightly. Okay, so now you want to wipe away the excess powder on your face. I'm going to use the same brush just to kind of buff it in a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and just wipe the excess away. Well, that didn't work too badly at all. It actually turned out quite nice. So now what I'm going to do is apply a little bit of bronzer just to warm up my face, and I'm going to use the same big fluffy brush. And then I'm going to put a little bit of blush. I'm using MAC Stay Pretty, which is a really nice pink. I'm just going to smile and pop it on the apples of my cheek. And I'm going to do a tiny bit of highlighter using this MAC Hush. Apply it to the high points of my cheekbone. I'm not really big on highlighter, but then I put it on and I love it. Now for my favourite part, I'm going to move on to the glossy eyelids. So I'm going to take this pigment from MAC. It's called Copper Sparkle, and I'm also going to take MAC Lip Gloss. And what I'm going to do is put about 1/3 of this and then 2/3 of this onto my palette, which I have already done. And then I've just mixed it using a synthetic flat brush. And you kind of feel what the right consistency is for you, but I like to make sure that it's quite opaque and it is quite sticky. So what you want to do is get a small mirror or something close by. Just place a bit on the synthetic brush, and normally I like to check it a tiny bit on my hand first to make sure it's the right colour and texture. So I'm happy with that. And I'm going to swipe it onto my lid. You want to be careful that you're not patting it on because obviously the gloss has quite a bit of texture and it will go a bit gross if you don't swipe it. So I like to just close and start carefully swiping it. You might need to keep reapplying it to your brush. And the other thing you want to make sure is that as you go, you're kind of blending it into the crease. So I find it easy to tilt my head back. You really can't make a mistake because it goes so textured and it creases so much that it fixes any mistakes you make. And I find it looks super cool once it's all like creased and a bit messy. And then you can go back in if you like and just add a tiny bit more where you feel you need it. So particularly on the middle of the lid. I'm going to do my lower lash line using the pigment, but I'm not going to use the wax because I find that really uncomfortable. So I'm going to take a small shader brush that doesn't have any of the lip gloss on it. And I'm just going to place this on my lower lash line. And apply lip colour. I'm using this one by The Balm. It's, I can't say what it is, so I'm going to put it in the description bar. I'm just going to pat it on. And I really want my lips to be quite muted. This is the finished look. I love the way it turned out. It's something really fun for the New Year's and it's definitely something that you should try. It does go a little bit messy, so it's probably not for everyone, but I love the fact that it goes messy and I think the longer you wear it, the cooler it looks. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video and I really look forward to seeing you all in the new year.